Hi, everybody. I was going to go over really quickly how I do library statistics for my library. So, just to frame it a little bit, every public and university library keeps statistics on use, and that's not just circulation, it's also how many people visit the library. So, here's an example of an information commons from a university library, and notice it says they had 284 students. They also had 2,673 questions between for the fall semester. So that's important data, and that affects staffing and everything else. So I like to simply keep track, not just for my own use of how many people and what type of use they are in the library, but so that I can also share that with my administrator and the district level to show they're pouring a lot of money in the library and this is what they're getting for their money. So it's kind of a sales pitch. So first of all, I look at two different things. I keep track in my schedule book and I keep a sign-in sheet. So for my schedule book, that's going to include all the library instruction, and I'll say something like Miss Smith's class, and she had 32 students. So when I'm teaching, I'm also tracking the number of students. Also, sometimes I'm asked to do test administration, so I count that. I did test administration for 37 students for MAP or for PSAT. Sometimes I get people classes in the library that aren't actually using, like, I'm not teaching and I'm not doing book checkout. They're just hanging out in the library for the space. And look, if I had this cool library, I could get people to hang out in all the time because this is what I hate. I hate it when the library is empty and it's all this wonderful space and facility not being used. So I encourage teachers to sign up for the library and just to do projects or just to have a different place to do classroom projects. And so this is what I like my library to look like. And I do count those obviously as library visits. And then finally, of course, I do have some classes at the high school level scheduled to come in and just do straight up book checkout. So those are the four elements: using the space, checkout, instruction, and test administration that I record in my schedule book. So for the sign up sheet, this is for students who come into the library during class time with a hall pass. And I simply have them sign in. I mean, part of it is I need to know that the teacher knows they're in the library, so I require a pass. But we're also open before school, after school, and at lunch because I am lucky enough to have a library tech full time. And so what we do for those periods, we know one, I've tried making every student who ever comes in sign up, and that never works because they just don't want to be bothered. So Molly and I discussed it, and we decided we would do a library head count, which is very similar to what I did when I was at the university level. Every hour we'd go around and we would just do a head count of everybody in the library. So this is a standard library practice. And so we count before school, we count during lunch, and we count after school. And I just record it on my sign-in sheet. And at the end of the month, when I'm tabulating all my numbers, then I just add them all up. And I add them up in different categories, and then I also add them as a total. So one aspect that I feel like, and I know I'm not capturing all the students that come in the library, and this is a main one right here. Students who come in and ask questions about uh, Chromebooks or textbooks, and the textbook room is connected to my library, although it has a separate window for students, but we probably answer 15, 20, 25 questions a day. Um, for students to direct them to the textbooks, or we take care of it ourselves sometimes, depending on what their need is. Now, this would definitely count as a library transaction. I know when I was at the university level, we counted people asking directions for the bathroom. And so our involvement with students asking questions about Chromebook or novel sets or something like that is way more lengthy and time consuming than giving directions to the bathroom. So Molly and I are putting together a systems to start tracking this type of library transaction. And I think that it will definitely give us a better picture of how we're spending our time, because this is hilarious because everyone thinks I get to sit and read, and I never get to sit and read ever. And finally, I'm ending with a joke. How many librarians does it take to screw in a light bulb? 645.5.